Okay, so today we're continuing with our triangle angles and other topics to do with triangles. Actually, we're not even getting into angles. We're talking today about medians. It's a new term for 7th grade. Medians of a triangle. So just thinking about the word median, you know something about words like that, right? As a matter of fact, do you know of a median in your travels? Have you ever heard the word? Like there's the median. Where would it be? The middle of where, Zach? Oh, you're thinking of math? Okay, so the middle with numbers. The median when you were doing probably probabilities and things like that, or averages, right? But how about when you're driving down the freeway? Is there a median? Where is the median, Brandon? In the middle. So really it is a middle type of word, isn't it? When we talk about it in math, medians are giving you the central tendency of a group of data. When you put them in order least to greatest, it's the one in the middle. It's kind of the central-ish number, right? And when we talk about the freeway, the center median, it's, really usually is the center. There's the same number of lanes on both sides of it. And they engineer those to keep cars going the same direction even if they do crash. Did you know that? Engineers use math they used it to create those medians with a bit of a slant on the bottom. There's cement, right? And if your car was out of control and it hit that median, that's designed to turn the wheels back toward your side of the road because you wouldn't want to go over that line and have a head-on against somebody coming the opposite direction, right? If you're going to crash, at least they keep you with the flow of traffic your way. I mean, we don't want to crash at all, right? But that's why they designed those that way and engineered them. Isn't that cool? Used to be they just had a fence and then people went through it and had head-on collisions. So we're thankful that they engineered them that way. Bella, did you want to say something? The median of a triangle. What do we see in this triangle A, B, C, and there's a D right here? What do these little red dashes mean? Do you remember, Jeremy? Okay, there's a meaning behind having a dash here and a dash here. That means what, Zach? Good. This segment BD equals this segment DC. So the entire side BC has been cut right in half by that, because that's what a median does. A median travels from a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. We see that here. A vertex A, this segment AD travels to the midpoint of segment BC, that side. So it cuts that BC into two equal halves, which is noted by this symbol, a dash and another dash just like it, telling you that these smaller segments are congruent. Splits the side into two equal segments. So we've already said if AD is a median, then we know that BC has been split into BD equaling DC, right? So there are a couple ways you can look at this. One way to look at this is if I did not know that there was a median in this figure here, could I prove that there is a median with the given information? Right? And why is that, Lindsay?
Because it shows that BD and DC are equal.
Good job. So she says you can prove AD is a median because it shows BD equals DC. You all see that? So now we can say AD is a median. Now, another way you could receive the information is, what if we erased these? It looks like BD equals DC, but you don't know that they are equal unless I tell you AD is a what? Is a median, right? So right now I could say to you, you don't see that BD equals DC. Those dashes are gone. But if I say AD is a median, you now know BD equals CD. So you could draw them back in, right? So if you receive a question that has a statement telling you a segment is a median, you can go draw in what you now know about the side that has been intersected. You know what I'm saying? Thumbs up if you know what I'm saying. Good job. Okay, so it could, in geometry, we often receive information in the words themselves. You have to read the instructions there, and if it says you've got a median, oh, I know something about that side. It's been cut in two. Okay, good. Now, the next thing is, all diagonals are medians. So that means when you look at the diagonals of a triangle, the diagonal leaves any vertex and it touches down its other endpoint at the midpoint of the opposite side. So that is a definition for the diagonal of a triangle. Diagonal of a triangle leaves a vertex and touches down at the midpoint of the opposite side. So if I tell you that in this case, who can identify there are two diagonals and then there is one segment that is not a diagonal. So what color are the diagonals in this diagram? Diagonals are what color? Give me one color. Can you see it from where you are? Tessa?
Red.
Okay, red. Good. So the red is a diagonal, and the other one is Hemant?
Blue.
Blue or purple, whatever it is. Let's call it blue. I think it might be purple, but
Yeah,
okay. So those are your two diagonals. The black one looks more like what? Rather than a diagonal, it looks more like it almost has a right angle, so we would call it a, it doesn't even look like a perfect right angle, but if we had this information here, what could we call that black segment? Bella? The height or the altitude, good, right? So it leaves this segment, the black segment leaves a vertex and goes to the opposite side forming a perpendicular, so that would be a handy little height if we needed it. Okay, so if we know that the blue or purple one is a diagonal, can you find X? Thumbs up when you have it. So, X equals 6. Good job. So it's exactly half of the entire side, which was 12. Very good. Okay. Now, you have 3 questions. Is the red segment in each of these triangles a median, an altitude, or both? So pause the video, come back when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, so number 5. We have a red side, actually, don't we, that is given. And the question is this a median? Is this a median?
No.
Is this an altitude?
Yes.
How do you know it's an altitude?
Because
This is perpendicular. Good. It's an altitude. Perpendicular to this other side right here. Okay, how about number 6? Is number 6 a median?
Yes.
Yes. Is this number 6 an altitude?
No.
So it's just a plain old median. Good. There's no sign that it is meeting this side with a perpendicular angle, right? So, nope. Okay. And how about here? Is this in number 7 a median?
Yes.
And is it an altitude?
Yes.
So it is both. So it's both. Good job. So when you are addressing your work today, you have a pretty short assignment, but there are a couple of word problems. So what do I expect to see on your paper? A drawing. You've got to draw these things and really challenge yourself. It's an opportunity to show your best stuff.